What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, news has been coming out of Detroit Lions training camp saying that, Jeff Okudah is practicing with the twos. Jeff Okudah is losing his one-on-ones to Kenny Galladay. He's losing his one-on-ones to Quintez Cephas, and he's generally struggling in his first few days of training camp. And you might not want to be hearing that out of the third overall draft pick that we are putting a lot of faith in to come in and lock down the opposing wide receivers on day one. But I'm here to tell you that there is no need to panic for Jeff Okudah. There is no need to jump off the bandwagon. There is no reason right now to believe that Jeff Okudah will not live up to that number 3 overall pick just yet. Now, before we do get into talking about Jeffrey Okudah, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying the content, consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel, as it takes only 2 seconds out of your day to make mine, and I'd be very, very appreciative to everybody that chooses to do so. But with that being said, let's get into talking about Jeff Okudah and why there is no need to panic when it comes to his training camp performance. Now, just as a disclaimer before I start talking about this, I am recording this before day 3 of training camp. So for all I know, by the time you guys are seeing this video, Jeff Okudah might have 3 interceptions on the 3rd day. I just don't know because I haven't seen it yet. No news has come out about day 3 of training camp for the Detroit Lions. All I have to go off of right now is the first 2 days where he has, where it came out that he has struggled. The transition of defensive back from the college level to the NFL level is one of the toughest there is. As you go from being the best athlete on the field, you go from being, the lockdown cornerback that's locking on people every single Saturday to just another rookie who's going against bigger, stronger, faster wide receivers with better hands and more experience, and they run better routes with better quarterback play. So the transition of cornerback from the NFL or from college to the NFL is one of the toughest there is on rookies. And every single year there are rookies that struggle. This year it happens to be Jeff Okudah, but every single year there are rookies that are drafted high that struggle in training camp, that don't seem to be doing very well. But then when the game time rolls around, then when the season rolls around, they're ready to go. They are, they start locking down like they are expected to do, and the training camp ends up helping them in the long run. Now, some really good examples of this is Amani Oruwariye. Now, last season, Amani in his first preseason game struggled against the Patriots backups. He gave up a touchdown or two. He gave up a couple really big plays against the Patriots backup wide receivers, and and the wide receivers that scored on Amani they didn't even end up making the Patriots roster. So, that looks really bad if you look at Amani's just his preseason game. But then when the season rolled around and he was called upon by the Detroit Lions, and when he was called upon by Matt Patricia and the defensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, he stepped up and he got 2 interceptions in the regular season. He played really, really well when the season rolled around, and he did not look like the Amani Oruwariye that struggled in the preseason. And he struggled, this struggle looks bad, and you could say he's a 5th round pick, but he also had rookie camp and OTAs and mini camp and training camp at this point, and he had a full quarter of preseason game to prepare. Jeff Okudah has had 2 days of training camp. 2 days, and he's playing against one of the best wide receivers the NFL has to offer. Now, if Amani Oruwariye is going to struggle after all this, after mini camp and training camp and OTAs and a preseason, some of a preseason game where he's got defensive snaps in a real NFL game, and nobody freaked out about Amani Oruwariye, and I know that the expectations weren't quite as high, but Amani is just fine. Amani is now starting. Amani is a starting cornerback in the NFL now. He might start for the Detroit Lions week 1 for all we know. He's playing that well in training camp. He played that well last season, and he does not look anything like the Amani Oruwariye we saw in the preseason. Another great example is Darius Slay, the guy we just traded away. He struggled throughout most of his rookie season, giving up a lot of big plays, a lot of touchdowns, and he did not look like the shutdown corner we saw him at Mississippi State. However, a few years down the road, Darius Slay is a perennial Pro Bowler. Darius Slay is, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. He led the NFL in interceptions a few years ago. He just got a big money contract, which I believe made him the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. He is a true lockdown cornerback, and he doesn't look anything like the Darius Slay we saw in his rookie season or at the beginning of his rookie season. He struggled. He looked really, really bad. He gave up a lot of big plays that he shouldn't have. He did not live up to the 2nd round hype that we drafted him to be. He did not live up to be that cornerback that we thought would step in day 1 and help lock down the opposing wide receivers. But with time and experience and confidence growing, Darius Slay turned into one of the best defensive backs in the NFL. He turned into a perennial Pro Bowler, and a lot of Detroit Lions fans hate the fact that we traded him because he was that good. And when he was on the field, he made our secondary so much better because he was that talented that he basically shut down half the field by himself. So, I mean, it just takes some time. If you want a great example from the Ohio State University, a guy that went in a similar position to Jeff Okudah, look at Denzel Ward. He went 4th overall as, and he was advertised as a lockdown cornerback from Ohio State who went to 4th overall in the NFL draft to the Cleveland Browns. Now, in his first rookie training camp, his defensive coordinator called him stupid because he was struggling in training camp. His defensive coordinator, the guy that's supposed to be coaching him up and getting him ready for Sundays, was calling him out and calling him stupid for not doing things right. He was calling his 4th overall pick out because he was struggling in training camp. But when the season rolled around, Denzel Ward was a lockdown cornerback. Denzel Ward clamped up on everybody and made a real case for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So it is too early to panic about Jeff Okudah. You have to remember, all of those guys had training camp. All of those guys had rookie camp. All of those guys had OTAs and preseasons, and they still struggled in their first couple of games or their first training camps. Jeff Okudah has had 2 days of practice. 2 days, and in those practices, he's been going up against a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL that just practiced and just worked with one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game. Now, Jeff Okudah to me does not seem like the kind of guy that crumbles under pressure. He seems like the kind of guy that, faces adversity and comes out on the other side. We saw him face adversity at Ohio State when his mother passed away. We've seen him face adversity throughout his college career, throughout his high school career, and at the end of the day, Jeff Okudah came out a better player. He came out one of the best prospects in the NFL draft. He came out the #1 recruit out of high school. We saw Jeff Okudah face adversity in high school. We saw him face adversity in college, and now we're seeing him face it in the NFL. In the first two, high school and college, we saw him come out on top. We saw him come out as a better player. There's a reason Jeff Okudah was the #1 cornerback prospect coming out of high school. There's a reason Jeff Okudah was the #1 cornerback prospect coming out of the NCAA for this NFL draft. There's a reason that he was looked at as the best DB to come out of Ohio State in the last decade. There's a reason Jeff Okudah was the first unanimous All-American cornerback out of the Ohio State University. Jeff Okudah is a very talented and very good football player. He is going to be a great cornerback for the Detroit Lions, and it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get acquainted. It's going to take a little bit of time for him to adjust to the NFL. You have to remember, this guy just went from being the top dog in college football, where nobody wanted to test him, to being just another rookie that's getting dusted by Kenny Galladay. It's going to happen. He's going to struggle, and if anything, it's going to help him in the long run, because I would rather Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones and even Quintez Cephas burn him and, turn him around and make him fall to the ground and make Jeff Okudah frustrated, make him think about what he's doing, make him correct what he's doing incorrectly, have him go against the best wide receivers we have to offer, make him, go against the best competition we have, because I would rather him struggle in training camp where it doesn't count. We know Kenny Galladay is a fantastic wide receiver. He doesn't have anything to prove. If Jeff Okudah is going against Kenny Galladay every single day, he will be ready for training camp. Or he will be ready for the NFL season. The NFL season is far away. It is, 4 weeks away at this point. Jeff Okudah has plenty of time to develop. Jeff Okudah has plenty of time to figure out what he's doing incorrectly. He has plenty of time to, fix any mistakes he's making. He has plenty of time to gear up and adjust for week 1 against the Chicago Bears. All it takes is one play. I think, personally, I think the first day kind of flustered Jeff Okudah. I think that, he got beat by Kenny Galladay. He slipped. And now he's starting to overthink things a little bit. He's thinking, dang, I screwed up. I got to fix it. And he's overcorrecting things, and he's screwing himself up because he's thinking and not playing football. All it's going to take is one play, whether that be a big pass breakup, whether that be a interception on Matthew Stafford, or, whether he just wins a single one-on-one matchup. That's going to build his confidence, and all it's going to take is one play. And when Jeff Okudah gets that pass breakup, when Jeff Okudah gets that interception, when he, hits somebody really hard and, makes a great play for the Detroit Lions defense, his confidence is going to grow. He's going to, stop overthinking. He's going to play football like he did at Ohio State, and he's going to be a fantastic cornerback. Looking back at what Darius Slay did, he came out on multiple occasions and said, playing against Megatron every single day made me better, and Jeff Okudah is in the same situation. He's not playing Megatron, but he's playing Calvin Johnson, who a lot of people think is the not the next Megatron, but, there's a reason people call him Babytron, is because he plays very similarly to Calvin Johnson. He has a very similar skill set to Calvin Johnson, and going against Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones every single day of every single training camp is going to help Jeff Okudah develop. It's going to help him be ready, and in the long run, going against all these guys and struggling in training camp and fixing his mistakes before week 1 is going to help Jeff Okudah be a better cornerback in the long run. He's going to be the next Darius Slay. He's going to be the next Denzel Ward. He's going to be the next Marshawn Lattimore. He's going to be the next great Ohio State cornerback to come out of the Ohio State University. And just because he struggled in his first 2 days of NFL training camp does not mean there is reason to panic on the Jeff Okudah selection. Now, with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. If you are new to the channel, as I said, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel, as it takes only 2 seconds out of your day to make mine. I would be very, very appreciative to everybody that chooses to do so. Now, if there is more Lions news before tomorrow, I'll obviously make a video letting every single person know. But until then, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. I will see all of you guys tomorrow with more Detroit Lions content. But until then, I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.